What's up, guys? Welcome to Refinement. This is my Resellers Life podcast. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 reasons to resell in 2024. I'm here with Les, all things Les. I'm going to ask her about these 10 things that we came up with, and I'm going to discuss all these topics in no particular order. Number one is flexible schedule. What do you think?
Yeah, that's definitely my second.
Your second?
Yeah.
So what do you like about flexible schedule? And is it because you can adjust it in case you have something you want to go to, or like how do you use your flexible schedule?
Yeah, I just like not being super like set, like, oh, I can't do this thing, or like I have to miss this event. And in reality, you can just do not whatever you want, but like, yeah.
So I made like a rough schedule for you, but I'm assuming you don't start or end exactly on the schedule.
Yeah.
So does that mean like when you're ready to go, you just start, or does that mean like if something comes up, you schedule around it, or how do you use the schedule?
I will say I do start on the schedule every day at 9. I will say I feel like the ending fluctuates. Sometimes it's because it's up until 3. Sometimes it's maybe like 2:30, but most of the times it goes like slightly over. Like, let's say if I finish selling at 3, but then if there's traffic, I don't end up home until like 4.
You know, the weirdest thing for me is that I have chosen this flexible schedule, but I essentially work 9 to 5, even though I chose my own schedule because it's just like the nature of my kids get off at a certain time, and then like the beginning of the day they get ready. Yeah. So like the time I would normally work on my business is actually still 9 to 5.
Right.
So my flexible schedule is that if I want to take a weekend off, or I want to take a month off, I can just like schedule it ahead and take it off and come back. And if I want to make extra money, I can work later in the evenings or come back to work. When I first was starting this business, I would drive back and work on stuff. And I'd wake up super early to work on stuff. And when my kids were feeding in the middle of the night, I would work on stuff. So it's all about being able to adjust when you want to do it.
Yes, exactly.
So number 2, you came up with this one, financial stability if you're successful.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're successful, because I mean, if the store kind of flops, it's not really going to be stable.
That is such an interesting point, because it is financially stable if you have great stuff in your store, a great way to sell it, good account, and reputation. But like if you don't have a good reputation or no audience, your items aren't that good, you're not good at listing, you're inconsistent, bad items, then that's not financial stability.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, this is another one you came up with. You get a good sense of style and value. So have you learned what things are worth since doing this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even just like looking at a tag, if you see made in the USA, you're automatically kind of like, okay, this item, even though I don't know the brand, I know it's probably worth a little bit better than like a made in China item. But yeah, and then also just developing like how also you wear your clothes too. Like I feel like when I go like shopping at the bins or whatever, you see like all the other people are dressed like so cool, and it kind of like makes you develop like want to get like a better style or something too.
I think you also realize that the way you dress does affect how people talk to you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like you wouldn't wear like off-white to the bins. I feel like that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't also like dress in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
So like it really depends on, like, this is going to lead into our next one, which is that it creates networking opportunities. So you've met some different people, and the vintage guys, sometimes they have like a uniform that they wear.
Yeah.
So they dress a certain way.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps them because they're in the in crowd. Maybe they get more offers and opportunities because they wear it and live it. Yeah,
and some of the people that I've met at the bins, they've also told me when they do things like the Alameda Market, that stylists have gone to their booth, and then the next thing you know, they see a celebrity wearing the item.
I see.
Yeah, so that's also a different like category of networking that's really cool too.
The next one is huge, and I think that a lot of people don't like having a real boss.
Yeah.
I think when you're a reseller, your boss is Depop or Poshmark or eBay, and you have to do it their way.
Yeah.
You're already more accustomed to the Depop, Poshmark way of listing, so you've had more sales there than eBay.
Yeah.
But it's like they're kind of your boss. The consignment shops are kind of your boss. They dictate how much money you make, but they don't tell you that much. They do give you some rules though.
Yeah.
So has the consignment shops, have they helped you determine what you think is valuable and what you think is cool?
Yeah, I feel like I've yeah, I've tried to like see what's valuable, what's cool. Sometimes I think I have it down, and then like they don't really take much, and I'm just like, oh, I tried to really fit the vibe of what I thought this store took. Like yesterday, I tried to like experiment, like only taking this certain bag to like this location, because I was like, okay, this clothes fits the vibe of this location, but they gave me like less than I expected, and then so it was kind of just like I'm just gonna stick to my way of doing it instead of, you know, like I experimented, kind of didn't work out too much. Let me just stick to like my way of doing it, you know.
Next one's gonna be the opportunity to grow. So I think you've already seen like, do you feel like this could pay your bills?
Yeah, for sure.
And then do you feel like there's anything limiting you?
I feel like probably just money. I feel like that's what limits like most people.
You think it's money to buy inventory, or is that the main thing?
Yes. Yeah, I would say like, yeah, money to buy inventory. I mean, right now I'm using just money that I'm making from like consignment.
Yeah.
And stuff. I'm trying not to tap in anything that like that's my personal money. But yeah, I feel like money is one. I could tap into like personal funds, but I'm trying not to. But I feel like money is one thing that's like a little bit limiting.
That is really interesting. I feel like most people that I talk to when they resell, they really do run out of money.
Yeah.
They like, their items aren't selling, and then they just have all these items and no inventory.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no money to buy new inventory. They're like heavily discounting it to just get a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of stuck because their bills are high.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to live on it before their store is big.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it for you like a 1,000 to 2,000 item store.
Yeah.
And you have a spare bedroom. And maybe you can just talk for a second on like, do you feel like you maybe want to start at home and grow into a storage unit? Do you want to start straight at a storage unit? What do you think?
I feel like maybe starting at home and then growing into that, but realistically, I feel like the storage unit is like very much crucial and like necessary. I mean, just, you know, if I start doing markets and stuff, just a place to like, those racks are like so big, like just a place to like hold the racks, like hold every like canopy, like stuff for the markets. Yeah, I feel like the storage is very crucial.
I think that the people always ask me like, how can I make my sales go faster?
Yeah.
Almost always, they don't have enough space.
Yeah, for sure.
So space is huge. So this is interesting. We talked about reselling giving you a variety of different ways to make money.
Yeah.
I think I can count at least 5 different platforms you've made money on so far. Oddly, not eBay, but Poshmark, Depop, Depop. No sale on Mercari, right?
No.
And then how many different consignment shops? A lot.
Yeah, like 6.
And then Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, and whatnot.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's like 11 different ways of making money that you just didn't have a few months ago.
Yeah.
So does that make you feel more safe about your job?
Yes, because like you said, like people that they run out of money or like they're listing things for super cheap. I feel like that's why I do like the in-person option, because realistically, I feel like that can never really happen, because it's like, okay, right now I only go 2 days out of the week. If I went every day, like it would be like an extra like $150 every day.
I also think that most people don't want to hear this, but in the beginning, you can go 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You can make 150 to 250 every day.
Yeah.
And then you met somebody doing the same thing, making 500.
Yes.
So I think that's something that people don't realize. It's not that they're doing it. Let's say you're making 150 and they're making 500. They're not necessarily doing it 3 times more than you.
Yeah.
There's not that many hours in the day. They might just be bringing different items.
Yeah.
They may have different suppliers. They're using their time differently.
Yes. Yeah.
So next is, you can kind of sell what you want to sell. Is this something that, do you sell things that you don't want to sell because you think that they're going to be profitable, or do you just only really stick to what you like?
Right now, I'm only sticking to like what I like, but that's just clothes in general. I would say if I started doing like, I don't know, like electronics, that would be something that, not that I don't want to sell, but I would rather just do clothes, only because I don't really even know like electronics and stuff.
I agree with that. And so you have the opportunity to not have to sell anything but clothes.
Yeah.
So next is, you can acquire skills. So what kind of stuff have you learned since starting this?
Like quality of clothing, pricing,
Are you more organized?
Oh yeah, like staying on a schedule, being organized, like keeping track of like money. Oh, and also like I guess with organization, main thing is like time management. Like that one's big for me.
What about planning? Do you plan more, like where you're gonna go?
Oh yeah, I guess like planning. Yeah, planning my routes, and then also always having like a backup plan if that plan does, like if there's like the other day there was a big accident. It's like I have to figure out, okay, plan B, like let's start somewhere else then.
Do you feel like you are better at photography now?
Yeah, I would say, because I did all of the tips that you taught me, like putting the photos in square, etc., like just putting the nail on the wall. I don't know what I would have done if like you didn't tell me that, but yeah, I never thought of like the square and stuff like that. So yeah.
And are you pretty confident in taking photos now? You feel like you can do it with most clothing items?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, what about your listing skills? Are those better?
Yeah, I would say, right, like, I would say I can list an item, like, extremely quick now, because now I have, like, the title memorized, like, the format.
Yeah.
I have that memorized now, so it's, the thing that takes the longest is searching up the item and, like, what it's worth and what other people have sold it for.
What about shipping? You've now shipped on multiple platforms. What do you think so far? Are you confident with being able to ship?
Oh, I would say that's probably like which you say like people like don't like doing that, but I would say it's kind of like the easiest part. Like you're just putting a label.
The next part though that is a bit challenging is learning all the different weights on eBay, calculated flat rates. You're still in that process.
Yes, and I feel like right now, I feel like I haven't listed like jackets and stuff for that specific reason. Like right now, everything is just the certain dimensions that, you know, we've been doing. Nothing like over a pound. So yeah, that's like the next step, like doing jackets and stuff.
So I ordered a bracelet for my wife and it took 2 weeks to get it.
Right.
And this is an experienced seller and they shipped it to me and they paid $8 or $9 too much on the shipping to get it to me. Yeah. And it was slow. So I was like, they don't even know the best and most economical way to ship. And so I feel like the skills of learning shipping translates to everything, because you can like ship something to a friend. Yeah. You can help somebody move. Yeah. Those skills transfer over. This is number 10. And it's realizing the direct impact of your efforts. So do you feel like you work more, you make more? Do you feel like that's been happening?
Yeah, because I feel like I've caught myself, because I feel like right now it's like I have my certain schedule, you know, like the 9 to 3. Yep. But yeah, I feel like after you've kind of made money, like you just start to think like, yeah, the more work you put in, the more money you make, and the more consistent like everything is. You've
also talked to me a few times on the phone about worth it or not worth it. And I feel like now you can kind of determine which is more worth your time, where you want to spend more time doing consignment or listing online or networking with people at the bins. And now you've been to multiple locations to source. Yeah. Where have we gone? We've gone to only one bins.
Together? Yeah, one.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we've been to a couple consignment shops.
Yes.
So I think we went to 2 consignment shops and one bins location. So I think also I want to go to one more thrifting route with you. Okay. And we'll go to a couple of thrift stores so I can kind of look at what it is, because the bins is so different than a normal thrift store. So I feel like we should go, but that's like
honestly, I feel like I'm just like regular thrifting. I feel like I'm just like, I don't even know if I feel like that's not even in my mind anymore. Like I just really like the bins. The only thing I do like going to the store for is shoes. I see. I have found like good deals on like shoes at the thrift store.
I think this is important that you're looking at the different types of sourcing, different types of selling, different ways to sell. And you've met so many different people doing so many different things. I feel like even though I've only known you a short period of time, you've seen a lot of different methods. You also came to our live event and you met 10 other people who do this. And did you see anything about them that inspired you or thought, that's interesting that they do it that way? What did you think of the people that came?
Yeah, I feel like every person, like, it kind of was inspiring a bit, because it was just like, dang, we're all here, like, trying to do, like, the same end goal, you know, to, like, either just sell things, get a better store, or just learn a different like a new way to maybe like improve. But yeah, that event was like a really good time, and yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. That was the top 10 reasons to resell in 2024, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.